This is the Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros. We're hanging out with you and helping you get your business right. Next segment, we're going to teach you how to negotiate like a boss. You ready for that?
You can't handle it.
You just remember what the early days of our negotiation prowess. I could
have used this a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. You think you can negotiate and you think you're good at negotiating until afterwards you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What just happened there?
We got hoodwinked. But here's the deal. I remember, and I will never, ever forget, when I was a kid, my upstairs bathroom had a reading material. There was always the Reader's Digest, and there was always another book. And I didn't realize, the value of it until many, many years later. But the other book was called "The Sale Begins When the Customer Says No."
That was in your.
That was in my bathroom upstairs. Yeah.
You didn't put it there?
I didn't. I was 8 years old.
Oh, you were a kid.
Yeah,
you were a kid.
Yeah, but I remember it. And
did you read it?
Heck no, I was a kid.
Right.
It meant nothing to me.
Okay.
But today, I just searched for it to see if it's still in print, and sure enough, it is. And it was
the sale begins
when the customer says no. Yeah, it's all about negotiating. I have another friend, Samuel Patrick Smith, who wrote Negotiation: The Fine Art of the Flinch. And
flinch?
Yeah. So
these are not words that I'm like, when they say no, then we start. Now we're flinching.
Well, the flinch.
I got lots to learn.
The flinch idea is kind of cool because, somebody says, how much does it cost? And you say, well, it's going to be $1,500. And they go, oh, that's a flinch. When they $1,500, that's a lot of money. But if they don't, you say $1,500 and there's no flinch. Then you say, and of course, that's for the base product. But if you want to add this service, then it's $2,200. No flinch. And of course, if you want the full package, it's $37,000. Oh God, that's a flinch, and you back it off.
So you keep, if they're not flinching,
add value, add service, add more, add money.
Interesting.
Until they flinch. They know it's called the dance in my world, or the game, right? When you get down to negotiating prices for your services and they know what they have to spend, but you don't know what they have to spend, you got to do the dance. You got to play the game, right? Negotiate like a boss.
Yeah. I think this is one of those that I remember going into the car dealership to lease a car for you, Eric. This was way back when I was his admin.
She's amazing.
Well, no, Angel doesn't dance. I mean, I disco dance, but I dance on the dance floor.
Right.
And I remember him, I don't know, he's
doing what car salesmen do.
Right, kind of throwing out some numbers. And I remember asking him if he had a calculator. Because he's throwing some stuff out with me, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I need
overwhelming her with numbers.
Yeah, I'm like, do you have a calculator? Because I need to see what this actually turns out to be.
Yeah.
And he opens up his drawer, and he's like, I don't.
You don't have a calculator?
You don't have a calculator? Like anywhere in here, you don't have we're running numbers and doing finance stuff. There's no calculator in here anywhere. No. Bye. Right. Like,
she walked.
Like Angel doesn't dance like that. Right. I remember one time getting to, somebody invited me out for coffee for whatever the pretense was of why we were invited out for coffee. And at, very early on within 15 minutes of the meeting, him kind of laying his cards out on the table of why he really wanted to have coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this really what you asked me here for? And he's like, well, yeah. And I stood up,
shook his hand.
Thank you for your time.
Walked.
Like this is not. So it is funny. I think this is why I'm no good at negotiating, because I never have practice, right? I never try. You say this, I say that, and we're gone. Like either we're going to do this or we're not. And I'm really kind of give me the bottom line.
But and
if you say no, I'm like, that's good enough for me.
Right. But you're probably leaving money on the table.
I'm sure that I am.
And so let's see.
I got a tango.
Find some common ground.
I've only been doing disco.
I'll teach you this move.
Okay.
The first thing that you want to do is you got to make sure that you two are on the same page, going the same direction. You got to check whether you're in a negotiating situation, which means there's give on either side. And when you're talking about business, many times this looks like either a partnership, you're negotiating a partnership, or you're negotiating to hire or be hired. Okay. And the reason that we say are you in a negotiating situation is because if you're firm like Angel and say, this is all I do, this is what I do, and if you don't like it, I gotta go. Then, and you never say that, by the way. I should just say that it was an oversimplification and dramatization of what really happens.
I'm pretty sure it's what my body language says.
I don't know.
Because 7% of what we say is our words. I'm pretty sure that's what my body language says.
But if you're in a negotiating situation and there is an advantage to you or an advantage to them, then move forward. One of my lawyer friends. But
there has to be an advantage for both of you. Otherwise, if there's a lose, if one of you is going to lose in this, then that's not really a negotiation.
My lawyer friend says that the best negotiations is when both parties lose. Now think about that for a minute. I was getting ready to take a drink. I had to stop. That's a disrupting your complacency kind of statement, but it's very so compelling. True because you both have to give off of your ideal. That's such a lawyer thing, right? Because everybody else in the world, we're like, no, it's going to be a win-win because we're all going to get something that we want. Right. We might not get everything that we want. Lawyers say two words, but they're nope. You're going to lose. Yeah. You're both going to lose something. Right. Lawyers say it depends, and they move their way. But it's so true. Because in a perfect world, you give me all your money and I go and I'm done. And in a perfect world for you, I concede everything for the least amount of money. It's not going to be a perfect world for either of us. Both of us have to lose or give. Clarify your aims. Okay. So you've got to know where you're really going, what your intended outcome is, right? Because otherwise, when it kind of does go that back and forth, I imagine if you're not super clear on where you're going, it's really easy to get lost in the conversation. It really is. Right? And down a path, you're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? Are you trying to get... this is what happens to me. Are you trying to get X number of dollars? Clarify your aims. Or will you concede some dollars in order to get a new customer? Clarify your aims. Next thing, gather information. We read this as one word: listen. And trust me, we are good at the listening process. Only because there was a really bad time we weren't, and we had to learn this lesson. And then finally, have a BANTA. A BATNA. That's it. And a BATNA, I said BANTA. BATNA is a best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Have a plan B. BATNA. And be good with it. We got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You got our good friend Don Graham is in the house. That's coming next on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros.